Some people forget birthdays, names, even important dates, but they never forget an insult. A sentence said years ago, a joke that hurt a little too much, a comment that everyone else moved on from, but their mind kept on replaying. If you've ever remembered an insult more clearly than a compliment, this video might feel uncomfortably personal. And before you think, I should have moved on by now, stay with me. Because what you're about to hear isn't about weakness at all. It's about how your mind was shaped to survive. Before we go deeper, if content like this makes you feel understood instead of judged, take a second to like this video and subscribe to MindTruths. It helps this channel reach more people who quietly struggle with the same thoughts. And it tells me to keep making content that actually matters. People who remember every insult are often described as sensitive, emotional, or unable to let things go. But psychology tells a very different story. These people usually have highly alert minds. Their brain is trained to scan for danger, not just physical danger, but emotional threat. An insult isn't just words to them. It's a signal, a warning, proof that they might be rejected, humiliated, or seen as less than others. So the brain stores it carefully, like a file marked, "Never forget this." What makes it harder is that insults are rarely loud and obvious. Sometimes they come disguised as jokes, sometimes as honest feedback, sometimes from people who were supposed to be safe. And when that happens, the mind doesn't just remember the words. It remembers the tone, the facial expression, the silence that followed. It remembers how small you felt in that moment. Compliments feel warm but temporary. Insults feel dangerous, and danger is unforgettable. Many people who remember insults grew up in environments where mistakes were punished, emotions were dismissed, or love felt conditional. Over time, the brain learned a rule: pay extra attention to negative feedback, because missing it could hurt you later. So even as an adult, one careless comment can bring back the same emotional reaction as the first time it happened. The body reacts as if it's happening now, not years ago. Another reason insults stick is because they often touch something you already fear about yourself. When someone insults something you secretly doubt, it cuts deeper. Your mind starts replaying it. Not because you enjoy the pain, but because it's trying to fix it. It's searching for answers. Were they right? Should I change? How do I protect myself next time? This looping isn't drama. It's problem solving that never found closure. And here's something most people don't realize. Remembering insults doesn't mean you're holding a grudge. It often means you're holding unfinished emotions. You didn't feel safe responding back. You didn't feel heard. You didn't get the chance to explain yourself. So the mind keeps the memory alive, hoping one day it will finally make sense. At MindTruths, we talk a lot about how the brain tries to protect us in strange ways. And this is one of them. Your mind isn't trying to hurt you by replaying insults. It's trying to prevent future pain. The problem is, what once protected you can later trap you in the past. The turning point isn't forcing yourself to forget. Forgetting doesn't work. The real shift happens when you change the meaning of the memory. Instead of asking, "Why did they say that to me?" you ask, "What was happening inside them?" Or even more importantly, why did that moment define me for so long? When you answer those questions with honesty instead of self-blame, the memory slowly loses its power. People who remember every insult are often deeply empathetic, emotionally aware, and observant. They notice details others miss. They feel things fully. The same mind that remembers pain also remembers kindness, even if it doesn't show it as loudly. Learning to balance that sensitivity is not about becoming cold. It's about becoming grounded. If this video described you more than you expected, you're not alone. And you're not broken. Your mind learned this pattern for a reason. But you get to decide whether those old words still control how you see yourself today. If this resonated, share it with someone who takes things to heart more than they admit. And I'd really love to hear from you in the comments. What's one insult you still remember? And why do you think it stayed with you? Sometimes saying it out loud is the first step to letting it go.